Alright, cool. So what's up, everybody? I am with Skylar Cunningham. How are you doing today, Skylar?
Hi, I'm good. I'm Skylar Cunningham. I'm the owner of SkylarGrace Co. I'm basically just like a graphic designer slash, um, I run like a online store. So yeah.
So yeah, I remember I found your content on TikTok, and it was really cool what you were making. So let's kind of like start from the beginning. Like I think if I read correctly on your website, I read that you started on April, right, of this year.
Yeah, so
Right?
I had to go back home from college because of the pandemic and everything. And I started an Instagram account for just some drawings I was doing. I was doing drawing people's photos in digital form and selling those. So I just started an Instagram account as a little portfolio. And then it kind of grew into a little sticker shop. And then I noticed that when people sold stickers, a lot of other shops started selling these like t-shirts. So I decided to do that as well. And it kind of just grew. So now I have my own website, but that's kind of like the short version of it, but I can
Yeah.
explain it more if
So
you want me to.
were you like a graphics designer like by trade? Like did you go to school for that, or were you like self-taught?
So yes and no. My major is, I'm in school right now. I'm going to be a third year. So my major is journalism and communications, and my focus within that is PR and digital cinema. So with that, to get like your extra credits that you can just choose from, I needed some more. So I did graphic design. It's not my major or minor, but it's definitely an interest of mine. So I have taken quite a few graphic design classes. So it's not really like my major or minor, like I said, but I definitely do have a lot of experience because there's lots of projects you have to do for those classes.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
I was gonna say, like if you like take a course in graphics design and then start a business, you need to have like a strong interest, because like I'm pretty sure like you're really busy. I know like you're selling out, you're like with your orders, and you need to be constantly working on your business, making new designs. So that takes a toll. It's a lot of work, and you need to have like, I think, a really strong
yeah.
interest. So is it like, if here's like passion and here's like interest, in the middle is like strong interest, like where do you think you kind of stand?
Definitely like as most passionate as I could be, maybe a little under it just because it's hard being a student. You know, I'm not living in my own home and just starting
Mm-hmm.
my full-on career yet, so it's kind of a little hard when you have to focus on other things. But you definitely have to be, you know, love what you're doing first. I actually get a lot of like questions on how did you start your business? I want to start a business. And that's like amazing that everyone wants to start their own business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome with social media and stuff like that these days. But you kind of have to work the other way. You have to find something you like first because it's just going to get harder. So if you end up growing your business and you're not really passionate about what you're doing, then it's going to fade away because it's a lot of work and a lot of time. So if you don't originally like what you're doing, then it's not going to work out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's really cool that like you're in school and you have like your own side hustle. Like I know like the job market for anyone right now is going to be really difficult, even finding internships or
Yeah.
full time. So it's really cool that you have like a side hustle going on. And who knows, down the line, if you scale your business, it may be something that you want to do full time, and journalism
Yeah.
and communication can be something in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of weird because when I also have a videography business, I should probably add that. So people ask me like how I started and everything, but I have experience with, like I have another job. So I didn't start from, you know, nothing. Like I had other sources from that. But I don't know. It's just as time goes on, like not saying that college isn't necessary because I've learned a lot from it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely opened my mind to possibly, you know, being my own, you know,
Your own boss.
boss
Yeah.
instead of, yeah, being hired. So it's definitely like a challenge and it has, you have to basically learn everything on your own.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more of a possibility than I would have thought 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah.
it's really cool because when I see your content, like you do like a mini series of like how to grow or how to start like a small business or whatever, right? But there was really cool is like you literally just started in April, and like if I were like a new like viewer and just never seen like your account, I can't tell if like you just started in April. Probably like,
Yeah.
so I was gonna say like, how was that transition of like you literally just starting your, like did you launch on on April, and then like you had like this exponential growth, or like how did that happen?
Yeah, it's kind of, that's why it's hard to give advice, because I feel like I'm kind of an outlier. But I think I started the actual site maybe in May, but kind of my like build up of it on social media in April. But I don't know, like I basically just started making those tips as I went, because you learn so fast anyways. So it's not like these huge points that like only like amazing entrepreneurs would know. Like it's just literally from my own experience, from my growth. And like I said, like you grow so fast that it just, like I learn a new thing every day. So the tips weren't hard to come by. But yeah, I'm not sure why I grew so fast. It's just a mix of, I mean, obviously I have tips and theories why, but there's a ton of other small businesses out there that I know are going to blow up. They just haven't gotten there yet. So it's just, you know, not everyone's going to be equal. It just kind of is random in certain aspects. So yeah, I don't know how I grew so fast, but I'm glad I did.
So like describe the process of like pre and like post TikTok, because I think you said like before, like one of your videos that TikTok and you blew up, but like on Instagram, like you like how many weeks or like were you on just Instagram and then you transitioned to TikTok? Like how was that?
You'd have to look at the exact dates, but I was definitely on Instagram for probably a good 1 or 2 months before. And I had an Etsy shop before I had a website, so that was like okay. I was doing Facebook ads and stuff like that. But it was just, there's like no comparison. Like as soon as I started getting on TikTok and took it seriously and started posting every single day, it grew so fast. I think something about that app is just people can consume so much more. It's so entertaining and you're just scrolling. Where on Instagram, it's more of like a relationship building and like portfolio. So they're different. But I wish I could give you numbers, but I really don't know like how much growth from just Instagram to like both. But you're just so much more likely to have that 1 or 2 videos on TikTok go viral all of a sudden, or on Instagram, it's like a steady pace. You're not just gonna like wake up and have a post blow up. It's just not how the app works. Kind of like YouTube, you're more likely, I feel like one video can do way better than the others. So yeah, it's just, there's like no comparison. It just jumped when I got on TikTok. I think one video went pretty viral and then my website was going crazy. So yeah.
So wait, so on Instagram, correct me if I'm wrong. So you created like personal art for people, right? You turned their pictures into digital art, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably, I don't know how many orders you were getting, but like were you doing the same thing post like after TikTok, and then like you sold more products after that? Like did you always sell like stickers and shirts? Like how was that transition of making more products?
Yeah, so originally, the funny thing is about me is I never was like, okay, it's April, I'm in self-isolation, I'm going to start a business. That's not how it was. I got an iPad Pro because I saw people doing, so like if you put a photo on there, you can draw over it and make it into like digital art. I saw a lot of that becoming popular and I wanted to do it too. So I started selling on my sister's old iPad. I started doing those and I sold, they're custom orders. So you can get a lot of money just for one. So I started selling enough where I could buy my own like nice iPad Pro. So I did that. And I was selling to friends and family on Facebook. I was posting it on my own personal stuff. And then I decided to make an actual Instagram just of these drawings. I don't have many posted because they're like personal custom orders, but I started doing like Pinterest drawings and stuff more for my feed. But after that, I noticed the same kind of community of accounts that would do illustrations like that also sold stickers of like more like generic drawings. So I was like, I'll start a sticker shop too while I'm at it. You know, it's the same concept. I'll do custom orders and I'll just draw some fun things, print them out. I cut them by hand at first because I was just starting. And then those same kind of sticker shops also, so there's a thing called a Cricut. It's like a cutting machine. So once I sold enough custom illustrations and stickers on Etsy, I got a Cricut. and Cricuts can actually cut vinyl for iron-on t-shirts. So then I was like, I have the Cricut already. Why not just take my graphic design from Adobe Illustrator, what I learned at school, and make some t-shirts too. And ever since I did that, I grew with the stickers and t-shirts. That I made my own website. Couldn't do the custom orders anymore because it was too hard to keep up stock for the site, as well as do really specific custom orders all the time because I was getting so many DMs. So I don't do those anymore, but they kind of got me to have like enough funds and following to do this. So it kind of transitioned from that to this, if that makes sense.
So let me just like condense
It's
that.
a weird,
So you went from like Instagram only to Etsy, and then once you started to get like more orders, you got your Cricut maker, and then you made your
yep.
own website. So you kind of like
Yeah.
you kind of like started from the ground zero, you know? That's really dope. So
yeah, so sorry.
I was gonna say, like, so with your Cricut maker, you can make a lot more stickers. Or like, I was gonna say this actually. So I think a lot of people, like, they kind of have like they have like excuses, kind of saying like, oh, like the market is too saturated. Like selling stickers, everyone does that. Now,
Yes.
you kind of think about that, it's like, oh, like everyone's killing it on stickers. My designs, like, yes, they can be cute, but who's gonna buy from me if everyone already has like, you know,
Exactly.
already has stickers? Like, what do you think makes, I guess, like your page, your brand, like uniquely different so that people can buy from you, like have your stickers instead of someone else's?
Yeah. So it's kind of tricky because that's something I was going to bring up, is that always kind of scared me. But the reason it didn't really stop me is because, as you could kind of tell by me explaining how I got there, it was just kind of for fun, because that wasn't really my main. I wasn't planning on making a bunch of money off of stickers. I was just doing it for fun with the customs that I actually got a decent amount from. So for like other people who want to do that, I don't think you should worry about the oversaturation. Like, people will always want stickers, you know, like there's so many to go around. I think as far as like what makes me unique, I wouldn't even say that, like, to be honest with you, they're not like super one of a kind. It's just you have to kind of market what you are selling so that it kind of matches your brand. So even if you're not like coming up with the next innovative design, like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just follow trends, kind of come up with a color palette, some good marketing, and your own personality kind of matches your brand, if that makes sense. So as you're posting, people will like associate you with your products, and you'll kind of like start to create your own brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, I don't know, whatever you do, make it intentional and kind of put your own twist on it, whatever you do. I don't know how to
Like
elaborate more on that.
Like the thing with like TikTok or like just starting like a business is like when you have like a page on Instagram, it's just your business, right? But for TikTok, you kind of have to show your face. So it's kind of like personal branding / your brand. Where do you see like your brand, like in like the overall like view? Like, do you see your brand as like, I mean, it does have your name in it, you know?
Yeah.
So like, is it more of like a personal brand? Like people are just buying from you instead of like just your brand? Is that kind of how you associate your business?
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm not a super expert on like social media marketing or business or anything like that. I just knew I thought it was like a good idea to have my name in it, just because it's kind of catchy. Like, other boutiques will have like the title will be like a name, but I didn't really have the intention of my brand being like my name, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I'm not selling shirts with like SkylarGrace Co on it. I think that's kind of cheesy unless you're like Nike or something. But I don't know. I'm growing a little bit more, so it's gonna obviously change and people will kind of know the branding of it. But I think the designs themselves is what is attracting people. But I'm not sure on that. I'm not really businessy social media marketing yet. So
And so like another thing is like, okay, so they say like TikTok may be banned or whatnot, right? So like, did you always have like an impressive following? I think you have like 8,000 followers on Instagram, and like, I mean, I know like the numbers aren't like super important, but it's always good to have like a following so you can like market to those people, communicate with them, create a community, and you know, do you think like TikTok was the major, I guess, source of like retrafficking like your fan base to Instagram, or did you always have like a nice Instagram following?
So my Instagram has always been steady. So that's the good thing. And Instagram's different because it's more about engagement and like loyal followers and getting the comments you need, not just likes and not just followers. Because I always see some accounts with like thousands of followers, like 20K, but then they get like the ratio for like engagement is not good. So I'm like, I'd rather, have that engagement there. But for like TikTok, sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So lots of people find me on TikTok, but then they will follow me on Instagram and say, "Hey, I saw your TikTok," and then they become a part of that engagement. It's just different because TikTok, a lot of the time, people will see like one or two of my videos, and if they follow me, maybe they'll kind of see it throughout their feed. But Instagram, I feel like it sticks more because each post is more like of a statement, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
TikTok is kind of random, and Instagram is for like always like something new or an update or a personal post. So the engagement is like stronger on there, but TikTok kind of gets you those views and those followers, and then people kind of, if you stuck with them and they see you often, then they'll go over to your other social media platform. So it's important, especially with the whole band thing you said, to really try to, if you have lots of engagement in one area, to try to traffic them to your other socials so that you're not just like flourishing in one spot, but kind of everywhere. But
no, give us a story of like when like you had just Instagram, you're getting some orders here and there, and then you have TikTok, you have a couple of videos that go viral, and then out of nowhere, like, I don't know if your site crashed, but you get like a bunch of orders. Like, what was like that day or like that week? Like, what just happened?
it's actually so crazy because people have different opinions on this because of the virus, but I hadn't seen my boyfriend in like 3 months, so I planned a trip to Colorado where he lives, so I was flying there on June 30th. The night before that, one of my videos was on its way to like 1 million views. So that night I was making stock and I was gonna have stuff ready, and then I wasn't gonna really make anything. But that night it blew up, and then up until the next day, and I was like, we were getting hundreds of orders on this one given day. And I was going on a vacation for 20 days. I was gonna be in Colorado for 20 days, which I went. And he's like helped me with the website and everything, so he like knows how it all is. But I was like, we have to shut the site down. Like, we can't physically make 500 shirts or 200 shirts or however many stickers in this amount of time. So we had to close. I think it blew up on like June 28th, June 29th, and then we stopped accepting payments on June 30th, and then we kind of changed the site really fast and said like, our fulfillment time is going to be 15 business days. Yeah, we're going through a transition. We had to catch up. So then when I was there on the 30th, it was all closed, and people were like, I can't buy anything. Why isn't my card working? I'm like, we had to shut the site down, and that was the best way to do it fast. Because I didn't want to. When you're a small business, you're growing, like, why would you want to stop it right when you're getting hundreds of orders? Like, that's so sad. But at the same time, I don't want someone to be waiting 2 months for their stuff. Like, and it's so much stress. There's more where it came from, so I just had to shut it down, sadly. But then July 1st, we kind of got in contact with one of my dad's friends who screen prints shirts. And we just decided to do a pre-order so that we could keep the shop open and people would know that they would have to wait for the products. And I actually just got all of those today or yesterday. So all of those, he made them super fast with the fabric ink and everything. So yeah, we're kind of seeing like doing the orders now from when that happened. So just to put it in perspective, how long it takes to catch up. But yeah, that's when I went viral. It was all in the midst of me traveling, so it was crazy.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, having a bunch of orders, right? I thought you were gonna say you're gonna bring your Cricut maker to Colorado.
Oh, we bought one there.
Oh, really?
So while we were doing the pre-orders, we still had to obviously do something there. I wasn't gonna not work for 20 days. So we got a Cricut there, printed stickers, made stickers, sent the shirts there, wholesale a bunch of shirts into his house throughout the whole 20 days. I was making shirts every single day I was there, both of us. But yeah, so I was still working there, but it was fun. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's still a good strategy to sell both on your shop and on Etsy, or did you close on Etsy totally?
I honestly, I think my Etsy store is still up. It's just on vacation mode because
Okay.
I couldn't handle like both. But I never really had both like full on going at once. If you're first starting, I would totally recommend doing Etsy because it's very minimal work. You don't have to do the whole website things. There's less businessy stuff to worry about. So I would recommend doing an Etsy shop if you want to get started now. And there's no problem with that. I think waiting forever to do something you want is a waste of time. So if you want to, do an Etsy, and then while you're having that open, kind of build up anticipation and work on your website so that you can do a website launch. But take your time on it. So if you want to be in business but also like improving, I think that would be a good thing. And you can always have both open while you can handle it. There's no reason why not. So.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think there's people that sell like stuff on Amazon and on your shop. I was gonna say your website looks really nice. So your boyfriend made it?
We both did. So part of my like graphic design classes, I think I've made one website just like for class. So it's not like anywhere. But I also made my videography website. So I've used Wix a couple times. And then he did all of like the logistics behind, like we didn't code it from scratch. It was made from Wix. So he did all of like the nitty gritty, like technical stuff, like the terms and conditions and the policies and, you know, like some of the ad stuff, the SEO, stuff like that. So it was like a team effort, but yeah, I did most of like the aesthetic part of it. And then he did like the actual, let's make sure this is a good website type of stuff. So
like, was it like an easy pick for like, I don't know, for everyone out there who wants to make like a shop, an online shop, like do you pick like Wix or like Shopify? Like those are the two heavy hitters like in the market right now.
Yeah, I hear those a lot. The thing is, I never really looked into Shopify because I already had a Wix account for my videography. So like, I think Wix is great if you need any type of website because it's more of like a portfolio as well. I think Shopify, I haven't looked into it, so maybe it's not, but Shopify sounds just in the name of it that it's more geared towards like an online store. But there are certain things that Shopify I've noticed other people have that I wish I had. Like it doesn't hook up to the shipping company I want to use, like Wix doesn't. And some other things. So I'm not sure. Shopify honestly might be better for like a strictly like an online store. Wix might be better for like a portfolio if you're like a different type of business that isn't a shop, kind of like photography or videography or something like that. So I'm not really sure what's better. I didn't do a ton of research just because I've already used Wix before.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like talking about like you said videography, right? Or both photography and videography?
Just videography.
Okay. So like how do you, I mean, I guess you're not in school right now, but like say like school starts, how are you going to manage your time between school, your videography business, and SKYLARGRACE Co? Like,
yeah, I haven't really decided that yet. I've done videography in school for almost 2 years now, so I'm pretty used to doing that. I film weddings, so it's basically only Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, mostly Saturdays. I don't book as many during the school year because I'm also on dance team and other things like that. So that's pretty manageable. The editing time kind of is tricky, but with the store, I haven't really thought about what we're going to do yet. We might have to do only specific days of the month, like only every 2 weeks. We have to announce like this is our shipping weekend or something like that. So yeah, the stock will be a little different. It won't just be like a free-for-all all of the time. Might have to do like certain launches and then plan days where we're packing the orders, just because there's no way we can just constantly have like a little workshop in our dorms. So yeah, I haven't figured it out yet, but we're gonna make it work.
So how does it work? So you have like a fixed amount of like products made, right? And then once you like launch it, it's like sold out, or like does it gradually get like sold out within like a week or two?
Yeah, it depends, but the more stock I add, the better it does, obviously. But when I don't have a lot on there, it sells, which is awesome. But at the same time, it'd be awesome if we could kind of like always keep it going. So like right now, some things are sold out completely. All of the pre-orders were sold out, but I just got more stock of them. So those are kind of in stock, but also slowly going down too. So it just depends on the product and the timing. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
both.
So yeah, you have to worry about like a lot of the logistical stuff, right? But if
Yeah.
there comes a time where like you're super busy, do you think, like, I know it's super early in in your brand and your business, but you think you'll like eventually, as you scale up, get like a partner to work with or what?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. My boyfriend helps a lot. So I mean, between the two of us, if we would need more help, we would definitely expand. But I wouldn't grow the store more than what we could handle until we got
Mm-hmm.
more help, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, like, I've even had boutiques reach out to me and asked if they could, like, carry my shirts in their store. But I just have to say, like, honestly, we don't have the capacity to have stock for our own store right now. So I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
keep track of different locations. Like, it would be awesome, but I don't want to, like, sign up for too much and then
Yeah.
lose touch with my own store. So,
Mm-hmm. So you focus on, obviously you make the designs, you work on TikTok, Instagram, and your boyfriend, does he work like on the maintenance of the website, or does he do other things as well?
yeah, so there's the thing with a small business, it looks so glamorous and fun seeing all the cute products, and the packaging is so fun to do. But you have to order things, you have to order packaging, you have to get an LLC if you want, you have to do tax stuff, you have to be marketing constantly, you have to post on social media, which I do, but it's sometimes nice if you can do like Twitter and stuff. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
different. But yeah, you constantly have to be changing the website, um, reaching out to people who want to be like ambassadors or take photos of your stuff, customer service.
Mm.
There's so much more. Like, we're constantly having to keep track of, you know, how many poly mailers do we have? How many stickers do we have for the packaging? So there's just a lot that goes into it. And he deals with all of it pretty much. I just tell him and we'll do like a Skype or a FaceTime and we'll kind of like work through it together. But at this point, if I tell him what I need, he'll understand and kind of know how it all works. So that's really nice to have. It would be very, very hard to do that all myself because while he's doing that, I'm making, like, actually sending out the orders. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So like, do you guys go, like, I'm assuming like once you guys go back to school, you guys go to the same school, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then like, I said, once you go back to school, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of your friends, you know, once they moved out from school, like they're probably like, damn, like you're killing it, and they probably want to help. So as you like, I don't know, maybe use your friends from college to like, you know, help expand your business, is gonna be cool because, you know, you're gonna have like, you know, a lot of people in close proximity to potentially help your business. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. I think they think, like, obviously, if I had a friend who is having their own little store, like, that'd be so cool. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really, like, even my roommate was like, I want to come over and help you. That looks like so much fun. Like, it is fun. But yeah, like, mostly like the packaging days is what's like kind of more fun,
Yeah.
because you have everything made already, which we are slowly getting stuff like made from other places instead of me making them. But
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it'll be fun. They're not gonna mind. You know, like I said, we'll probably have to schedule like certain times where we're just gonna have to gain orders and then announce like a date that we'll be shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of have everyone assembly line it, and it would be fun. Put some music on, take a
Yeah.
day, and send orders out. No one's gonna care. So yeah, it's fun.
So like, how does your creative mind kind of like work? Like, so you kind of think of an idea, and then, you know, you try to put that idea out to market as soon as possible, or do you kind of like use the current products you have right now and kind of just like put them back on the site and sell them, or do you just put
Yeah.
every idea onto your site?
Um, both. It's weird because as a creative person, you can't just sit down and be like, okay, let's think of some
Yeah.
things. Sometimes that works, but it's so random. Like, I think like the next t-shirt idea we had, me and my boyfriend were FaceTiming right here like 2 nights ago. And we like were just talking and then we're like, oh, that'd be cool on a t-shirt. And then I was like, yeah, it would. So it's just like random. So you always want new things, but also like if you have really good selling items, just keep them up, keep doing them. You know, there's no point in being like limited edition. Like you can be like that. Lots of stores run like that. Like, you know, like merchandise stores for like YouTubers and stuff like that. They'll do like limited quantity. But I think it's nice to see like what's selling the best, and then we might do like different variations of it, like maybe a sweatshirt or a different color, which we haven't done much yet. But yeah, we're still kind of gauging. We haven't had many different launches yet, maybe like 3 over, you know, just this summer.
Yeah.
But some stuff we've taken off, but some we're coming up with new versions of it, and we're also making new designs constantly. So kind of all.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, since you have so many orders, and like typically your products, like for the stickers, they really aren't like that. They don't cost a lot, right? So like maybe like down the line, like to still get more orders, like maybe you can not price it higher, but create products that are more expensive. So therefore, like, you know, you can get less orders, but still maintain that same revenue, right?
See, that's exactly what we did. So I was selling the shirts. We sell comfort colors, which are a little nicer than like the basic like Gildan or Hanes. So they were already kind of more costly for us. So I was selling them for 22 or 25 based off of how many colors the design was. But we blew up when that happened. So I was like, not to try to like be stingy or something, but it's just like, it's a smart business move. Like,
yeah,
why not? So now all the shirts, I'm pretty sure all of them are 25 or 28. Most of them are $28, and they're still selling just fine. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to, it's not like I said, I don't think it's like necessarily like bad. Like it might like seem like, why'd you raise the price? But it's like, you got
that makes
to
sense.
like,
yeah,
it's like silly not to. And the quality has been better. We changed from vinyl to screen printing, so you know we had to pay for that. So it's just like, as we improve, we're also gonna improve the quality of our items, so then the price is gonna go up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you have like stickers and you have like 100 orders, I mean, your profit margin is so small, and you have to like send it to like so many times, and it's gonna be a headache, right? But if you have a shirt that's $22 and some change, then your profit margin can be higher, and you don't have to send it as many times, right? So you said you do what was it? So you put the vinyl on the shirt. I know there's different like mechanisms of making t-shirts. Do you do like embroidered shirts, or is that something that you want to do like down the line?
No, we're really looking. You either have to have your own machine for it, but clearly we can't keep up ourselves. So anything in the future is going to have to be outsourced. But I would like to stick with local companies if we could, just because I like to know what my products are. Yeah, I don't want to get shorted on quality. So I'm looking in Iowa right now. Everything's a little weird because of the virus, but yeah, the vinyl is called heat transfer vinyl. The Cricut can cut it out, and then you just take like basically it's called a heat press. It's like a fancy iron, and then you can push it on. That's what this is. But you can't dry it necessarily because the heat from the dryer affects it. So, and it takes forever because you have to hand do it. But with the screen printing, they have huge machines. It's what most shirts are made from. A lot of like high school or college t-shirts are screen printed. So it's just fabric ink, and they have huge machines that can spin and do them really fast. So we had to do that. But yeah, the quality is even better now. And the same for stickers. We were making them ourselves, still am. But we recently found a better place to get them done faster and even better quality. So we increased the price by $1, but they're going to be much better. And we can get them out faster, so you guys won't have to wait forever for your orders. But yeah, we're just kind of improving and growing as well. I forgot the initial question, so I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, it's good. So over time, you're kind of like, it's kind of cool because like you use the Cricut Maker, but now you're kind of like shying away from it because now you're depending on a supplier for your shirts, someone else for the stickers, and it makes perfect sense because if you have that much volume, it's gonna be impossible to have just one Cricut Maker. Imagine if that breaks. Even if you have two, it's still a lot of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you gotta get the materials for that.
Yeah, it's just a lot, and I feel like there's some people that might kind of lose touch with some businesses once they start to outsource. Because for a moment on TikTok, people were like, "Where are you getting where do you get that? Where do you get that? I'm like, I make everything. I make my tags. I make my stickers for my packaging. I make my actual vinyl for the shirts. I make my stickers. So it's like cool to say that. And some people are like, oh, you don't even make it, you just sell it. But it's like, it can't anymore. Vinyl isn't meant for big production. It's for boutiques and smaller shops like I was.
Yeah.
I'm still very small, but it's just, we want to grow. So I just keep selling vinyl, but I would like to grow if I could. So I don't think it's a bad thing. You just have to make sure that it is what you want. And, you know, don't try to get the cheapest option or the fastest option, because you still want it to be as good or better than what you were doing. But I think people think that once you go to like outsourcing your things, that you're getting more like less authentic or something.
Yeah.
But we're still packaging everything at this point. Who knows what will happen in the future? But of course, like I said, I make sure everything is fine, and I still look at everything that goes out. So yeah.
I mean, it's natural. Like every business, they want to grow, right? And I feel like on TikTok, people love seeing the behind the scenes of how you grow your business, how you package it, how you make your products, right? And of course, people don't want to have that authenticity lost by these huge volumes of product being sold through another supplier. But at the end, you might have to. But here's the thing: like, I feel like it's gonna be really important. And this is like me being selfish, like what I think. I just think like if you could get it from other suppliers, but as long as you like package it the same way and maintain that brand that you have, the SkylarGrace Co. As long as you have that same brand, that same like message, I think people are still gonna love like your product, you know. However, like if you just have the supplier send it out to your customers and it's sent in a regular cardboard box or whatever, not like no cute packaging, then it loses that authenticity, and people might not want to buy your product, and you know they might not mess with you anymore on TikTok or Instagram, you know. So it's that balance, you know. You got to figure it out, I think.
Exactly.
Tough, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, at a certain point, just like how we had to do this, that might happen a year from now. Who knows? But then again, you're still the owner, so you are still going to be meeting with people and making sure it's the right place that you want and stuff like that. Like at this point, I'm still physically writing thank you on every single order. Like every single card, I'm writing thank you so much. That might not be realistic in a couple months or a year. So it's like sad, but if you want to grow, like you're one person and you can't physically do, like right now, I'm the customer service, the social media marketing, I'm the graphic designer, I'm the one who's actually packaging. Yes, I get help, but you know, with that growth, I can't even make my own products anymore, which is good because they're going to be better quality, but it's just, you have to give something up for it. But there's ways to still make sure that everything is just as authentic as before. But that's kind of the part where you always want to be at the point where you are. Like 2 months ago, I would be amazed at where I am now and I wouldn't believe myself. But I needed to realize like how fun it was to do like 5 orders a day. So I like actually like could see who I was sending it out to and like focus more and like take more time. Not saying like I'm not now, but it's just like you need to soak it in when it's steady. Because when it gets so big, you don't get to do the fun things like package your orders anymore, maybe, you know? So it's fun to do all the little steps. So you don't want to like wish you were a huge company when you're not yet, because those little things are fun and you're going to miss them. So
yeah, I feel like in the past 3 to 4 months, what you've learned right now running your business, you've learned a lot more than what like business majors are in like any school across the nation, right?
I mean, maybe. It's crazy. I don't know. It's just funny because I never planned on having another business. Like I was so hesitant on a lot of things, like even like the businessy side of things. Like I was hesitant on, you know, bank accounts, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's just like, is this going to be a permanent thing? Like, I don't know. How am I going to do this at school? Is this just for self-isolation? But I think it's grown so much and I've got so much support that I think I'm going to keep doing it. Like it'd be silly to shut it down at this point. So
like, do you regard yourself like if you were to introduce yourself to someone, like what do you say, like, oh, I'm a graphic designer / videographer / entrepreneur? Like, where do you, like, I don't know, like what do you say? Like how do you kind of introduce yourself?
I've been thinking about that. It's kind of because people are like, they ask me like, lots of people on TikTok like to ask business tips. And they're just kind of like, how did you get the money to do this? I'm like, well, I've had many jobs before. I'm 20. You know, I didn't just wake up and start selling t-shirts. Like, yeah, I worked at a coffee shop. I was a videographer. I worked for other videographers. I worked at a movie theater. So it's like you just save. And I don't know. I would say probably I'm a wedding videographer and I own an online store, probably, just to keep it simple. Yeah, within, obviously, like I've said many times, within owning the shop, you're also kind of like a little social media marketing person trying to learn, and also kind of trying to have a business hat on, as well as the graphic design stuff. But there's definitely plenty room for me to grow in the graphic design area. So I mean, I am technically a graphic designer, but I wouldn't probably, it's on my Instagram, but I don't know. I feel like I need to be a little more confident in that area still, but I have some time.
Yeah. So because you have like that journalism and videographer like background, do you think you would add like, I don't know if you have like a vlog or a blog on your shop. Like, I don't know if you have like a YouTube series. Is that something that you think you would get into?
It's funny because I had like a silly YouTube channel with my friend in high school, and that's kind of how I like wanted to do videography in the first place. Like, I've always been creative, so that's kind of like the outlet I chose. A lot of people have been suggesting it, and TikTok is kind of like a simple way to kind of be a YouTuber, if that makes sense, because it's kind of less commitment, less time. Like, since I did that little channel a couple years ago, I kind of understand, and I know how long editing takes. So right now, it would be nearly impossible for me to do that. I think YouTube alone is a full-time job, let alone doing the store. So it's definitely, I want to do it so bad, but just putting school in the mix and wedding videography, there's no way. There's no way at all I could do that and make it how I want. But I definitely am interested. I definitely want to do that, but kind of living that life through TikTok right now.
Because yeah, it's a really cool story. Like, you literally like accelerated like your business out of like nowhere, like only
I know,
April.
knock on